We are the Long Island Tea, where we spill the tea.
It's true. We're from Long Island, so we say, how you doing? How you doing?
I don't.
We're in the middle of the vines.
Yes.
Because it's Memorial Weekend. So
It's
there's
kickoff. We're here. It's summertime. Long Island wine of the week.
I'm thankful for our hot teas.
Yes. That's like such a Long Island thing.
We're just talking about real life.
Right.
That's what we do. Welcome back to another Long Island Tea, where we spill the tea on living your best Long Island life. And I have a very special co-host with me today. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Catherine Canadeo.
Yay! Catherine Canadeo's back by popular demand.
Oh, thank you. So good to be back.
Yeah, you were on the show, I think it was during Wellness Month, right? January Wellness Month. And before you even left, we were like, when can you come back? And we were like, oh, Sharon's on vacation, so you can be a co-host.
And I love it. Thank you so much for having me back.
Oh, yeah.
It's such a great time.
I know. And we're this is going to go fast, and we have a lot to cover, but because you and I, whenever you get us together, it's crazy. So I was like, this is perfect, because we're going to just talk about so much stuff today.
It's effortless.
I know. And so I want to make sure everyone can hear you. So I saw you last night. First of all, we start every show with saying, how you doing?
How you doing? I want to say how she was doing last night.
You're so sweet.
Congratulations on your Premier Business Women's Award, and you looked absolutely fabulous, and a huge congratulations to you.
You're
and I'm so proud of you, Kristen. Amazing job.
Oh my God, you're so sweet. Yes. Michael was like, where's your award? I'm like, I left it at home. He goes, what is wrong with you? He's like, I'm going to take over your phone and do your social media for you. I'm like, you should.
Go right ahead.
Because he's so busy, but not just me, like the women that were in that room, there was over 400 people, and it was hosted by the Long Island Herald.
Correct.
And their team of, mostly women.
Yeah.
By the way, amazing event.
Amazing. And Amy Amato, a huge shout out to her.
Great.
She looked gorgeous. In her fuchsia hot pink pantsuit that
Michael,
I said you must wear. She looked fabulous. So Amy,
Louis
this is to
Vuitton.
you.
She had her Louis Vuitton
Gorgeous.
little scarf with her fuchsia pink suit, and I was like, she came up to me, I was like, girl, I love your skin. And she was like, it's not too much. I'm like, I love it.
Love it.
And it was perfect.
Yes.
Anyway.
And she gave me a cute little shout out. She's like, my coach, Catherine Canadeo, told me to wear this morning.
Oh, really?
That whole 5-minute intro. And I was like, oh my gosh.
You.
I'm like, Amy, really?
You were at the event, you were honored last year.
Last year, yes.
Yes.
So honor.
Oh my gosh, it was great.
These women, they're just all of them extraordinary, empowering women here on Long Island that just give back to our communities, and we just support each other, and we just lift each other up on each other's shoulders.
It was really
it's amazing.
Vibing energy. Lisa Black, Deputy County Executive Lisa Black was also being honored, as was Shelley LaRose Arkin, who's the Commissioner of Long Island MacArthur Airport, and Terry Alessi Maselli was at our table.
Yep.
I mean, there was 60 honorary. There were so many women.
At least. And Antoinette Biordi, the MC, she's such a doll.
By the way,
love her.
I love her.
She's got such an incredible professionalism about her, but yet she's so gracious, and everything about her is just awesome.
You know what? And she does all of those events. She MCs them from on behalf of News 12, on her own time.
Yes.
She's volunteers her time.
Everything comes from her heart, and she's just so genuine and authentic and Antoinette is the best.
I really, she's up there dancing to the DJ, and she's like, let's everybody bust a move. So anyway, it was a really fun event, and congratulations to all of the honorees and past honorees.
Thank you.
Because it is important. It's National Women's Month. Mm-hmm. It's important that we recognize the women that are doing great things in our community and in our business industry. So that's awesome. So I was going to tell you, last week we were at the Salt Cave. And you were talking about the Salt Cave of your friend at Glen Cove Mansion, right?
Yes. So it's MYW Studios, and it's at the Glen Cove Mansion downstairs where the entire spot is. This Salt Cave was made from all of the salt that comes in from, Asia and the sea salt, the dead sea salts. And it is just so extraordinary that you sit there and you literally feel, the detoxification happening. And the salt actually embeds itself into the walls and on the ground. And your respiratory tract, your sinuses, everything gets completely cleansed out, and there's just no better way. In hers, the show's got a fireplace in there.
Yeah, I've been there.
Zen.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome, right?
Yeah, Glen Cove is a new partner of ours, and they've got some good events coming up too. And we were at the one at Port Washington. I'm so tired from last night. I can't even. Port Washington's
another sip, Kristen.
I know exactly. But the funny thing is that I was hitting my socks together when I got home in the garage, and just salt was just coming out of everything. But clearly it worked, because I was saying when I drove home from the event last week, the drive along the North Shore, it was, I don't do that as often as I should, because it doesn't matter. Usually you're on the LA, you're going the fastest route. I drove through Roslyn and Old Westbury.
Isn't it beautiful?
It was so beautiful. I'm like, maybe it was the salt working, because I was like, dang, I was like emotional. I'm
we live in such a beautiful island, don't we?
All waterfront, these cute little villages. The homes were amazing. Every village or neighborhood I went through, I was like, I could live here, and I could also live here. I want to live here. It was amazing.
It's just Long Island, and the beauty of it, and the essence of what it really embraces. Our life and these gorgeous homes, and we have everything. We've got the lakes, we've got the waterfront, we've got the parks, the trees. It's so picturesque. It's like a storybook. And here we are on the island.
I know.
Enjoying this.
I know. We're so lucky.
We're
so lucky. And it's why people live here for generations. And everyone complains about the cost of living or whatever it is here, but then no one leaves, because you know what I mean?
There's nowhere
where are you
better.
Gonna go?
Nowhere better.
Where else are you gonna go?
It's so true. We got the vineyards. We got everything.
It's like, come on. Where do you think you're going?
Honestly, nowhere. We got the North Fork, potato chip farms, wineries.
I mean, there's literally so much to do.
Everything that we do.
It's so awesome.
It's the best.
Speaking of, my husband is taking his oldest daughter to look at a college this weekend. She actually, Penelope, she won this great scholarship, and she's a finalist for an additional women's scholarship, which is amazing.
Congratulations.
So I know. Cheers to Penelope,
Yay,
by the way. The women of the future.
Yes, that work very hard to get to where they are right now, even as young adults. The
kids.
pressure,
oh my God. And these
stress.
kids are so smart. Yeah, and there's a lot of stress. But anyway, so he's taking her to Chicago, and I'm so excited for the two of them, because they get this father-daughter bonding weekend. And I took my daughter looking at colleges, and I remember those special times. But the cool part, too, is that means I get to be at home alone with Tegan, my daughter, just the two of us. And I was like, oh, what do you want to do this weekend? And it's like, there's so much to do. I was like, I kind of want to go to Adventureland. It just reopened for the season.
That brings back such precious memories.
Adventureland is so awesome.
It's so great.
And Tegan and I love rides, whereas the other members of the family don't. Like, we love that stuff.
Me too.
We'll just take a day off and go to like Six Flags. We love that.
Fun.
So, or like the outlet malls. I'm trying to decide what to do. It depends on the weather, I guess. But
yeah, but any time spent alone with your daughter is just beyond precious. My daughter's now 30. She just got married in August. I have another 27-year-old daughter. And it was the funniest thing. My husband, Ernie, was away in England. And so she's like, Mom, I'm flying back from NFL. She had her account there. And she goes, do you mind if I just stay, with you for the next couple of days? I said, mine. I said, Ernie's gone. Your husband's not. This is girl time. And she's like, oh, this is precious. So we cooked every night. We watched TV together.
Love it.
I haven't had her since she was like in college.
Oh,
when you think about it, it's like 10, 12 years ago. And I'm like, this is so great. And we had the best time.
I love that.
We missed our hubbies, but we're like, hey, this is so cool.
Yeah, just laying around and watching movies.
Our PJs,
it's
fireplace on.
I love it.
It was the best.
Love it. That time with your daughters. I'm reading this book by Dr. Lisa D'Amour. I don't know if do you know?
I know her, yes.
She's written like 3 New York Times bestsellers, and she writes about girls and teenagers and stress and anxiety and all of that. And I like to just know what's in their head. I mean, my daughters are almost grown, but still, like 15 is an important age, and as my little one's 15. So it's really interesting to hear about the world that they're growing up in, and social media and the role that it plays. So it's so important to that quality time that you spend with your children or your friends,
yep.
Or your coworkers. Sometimes just getting out of the office, you know what I mean? It can really make a big difference.
It does, because what happens here is you reconnect with yourself, and you're not constantly distracted by the outside environment, meaning social media, the TV, constantly, as we are very busy in our, productive lives, and you just press pause. And when you press pause, you're able to take in everything that you really do cherish, that really sustains you on an everyday level. And that's the love of family, the love of friends. And it just makes everything feel so effortless and so, going like home. You just feel very safe and very loved and very nurtured in that constant, continuous, flow of just this beautiful energy that you create with your daughters, with your, sons, husbands, friends, family. It doesn't matter, coworkers, because you need that. You just have to press pause to reset, to really matter, the priorities of your life.
And that
that's
was so
the best.
You're so right. And just that connection, because even, again, going back to last night, I had my friend Regina on one side and Savita on the other side and Terry. And it was so great to just be with your friends and laugh.
And just relax and just relax and just take it all in.
Fun.
Yeah,
I know.
Because girls just want to be girls.
Yes, I know.
It's great.
And we were
Getting all
having
dressed
the
up.
best time.
We were.
Okay, so really quick, guess what? Sharon and I actually ventured off as well, and we launched another podcast.
Ooh.
It's called the C-Suite Tea.
Oh, I love it.
And it's completely different. We don't drink wine.
Sounds
but
good.
it's shorter little vignettes about helping people succeed in the working world, how to avoid pitfalls. So our first episode is called Does Everyone Lie or Embellish on Their Resume? Because, ripped from the headlines. And what's the difference between lying and embellishing? So wherever you get your podcast, it's not on video. This one's just on audio. Make sure you tune into C-Suite Tea because more of those will be coming. So you can like us and DM us. And then, so real quick, before we go on, we should probably talk about what we're drinking.
Yes.
The wine of the week. And we were just talking about it because it's a white Merlot.
And it's actually very smooth, very refreshing. And it's from Sannino Vineyards. It's a white Merlot. It's got a light copper peach and a grapefruit nose. And it really carries its right along the palate. And it just goes down so smoothly. And it's nice for the afternoon, just when you're wanting to have that, cheese and crackers or whatever, very fruits. This is a wonderful wine. It has a nice accompaniment to it.
It's a great way to describe it because it's not a rosé, it's a white Merlot, so it's got a little bit more depth.
It has more body to it.
Exactly,
yeah, it
but it's still refreshing. So I love
Very
it. So
nice.
cheers. Thank you for having a white Merlot. I love a white Merlot. I'd never had one before this podcast, and I think they're amazing.
It's delicious.
It's Long Island Wine Country, who is our sponsor, the Wine of the Week at liwines.com. It's their 50th anniversary this year on Long Island, and we are going to do so much cool stuff with them. I keep talking about it, but we actually were just accepted to represent Long Island Wine Country in the Aspen Food and Wine Festival.
Oh, congratulations.
In June,
that's huge.
Which is huge.
Yes.
So we're going to be there with Long Island Wine Country,
oh my gosh.
sampling Long Island wines.
Love it.
To that incredible elite crowd in Aspen, which is invitation only. You can't. It's like Bobby Flay.
We're talking
and all the,
VIP
Michael's
here.
dying
VIP.
right now. Look at Michael.
Okay, I'm coming in your suitcase, just so you know.
Michael is dying. So our team is going to be there, and again representing, and that is huge. We're talking to major sponsors. There's going to be a big event in August in Wine Country, which everyone can come to. We'll be talking about that. But there's so much coming up with this year with Long Island Wines, and it was on News 12. News 12 is going to be there this tomorrow morning. So it's all over, and we are we love Long Island Wine Country, so thank you for sponsoring the Wine of the Week. A little bit about some Long Island life. Do you have any my Long Island life that I kind of wanted to talk to you about, because this is where it's like some local stuff.
Yes.
The biggest thing happening, I think, is the News 12 shakeup. Speaking of Antoinette, there's News 12
lot going on.
What is going on? Chris keeps Chris used to be at News 12. I'm like, Chris, we scooped you up. We scooped you up before the shakeup. There's a big shakeup, and a lot of the long-time people are retiring, taking early retirement, that kind of thing, moving on.
And it's kind of a bittersweet moment in our life, right?
Yeah.
Because we grew up with these people, and they're like the, bedrock of what we've known all of our lives. And not to see their faces anymore, it's going to be,
it's different. It's different. But then at the same token, Newsday, who's our newspaper that I read every day, just launched yesterday Newsday TV.
Correct.
And so it's interesting because iconic, some of the people we grew up with, like Elisa DiStefano, huge friend of the show. She's been on the show.
She's a sweetheart.
She's the sweetest. I love her. She went to go launch Newsday TV. And you will appreciate this. Elisa was talking about the fact that sometimes when you think a door is closing, it's actually not. It's opening up a completely new door for you.
Opportunities.
And you don't even realize what's coming next for you. So it is hard for us when you get used to the people and you get used to it and we're all in our groove. But you know what? They're going to move on to something that's different and bigger and better, and everyone's going to grow, and we're going to meet new people, and change is growth, right?
See, what you just said is so beautifully done, because transitioning, right?
Yes.
And constantly transforming yourself, because we're never the same person every day. So how can we expect our external life to be when we're not internally the same person every day? So when we look at that whole scope of what's going on, it's always really good to know that you have to be almost like lock in step. And when you're constantly in that ebb and tide like flow, things don't really shake you then. You're looking for the better half of what's coming down the road, always looking at the glass half full and always seeing where's the opportunity, like Elise and everything else.
Yep.
Because that's where really everything happens. That's the magic of life, One chapter closes. Okay, so now you turn the page. Okay, what's the next book? What's the next chapter going to be like? And it gives you this incentive of constantly being inspired and motivated and being curious and learning, constantly seeing those lessons being outplayed right in front of you and getting the best of it, for yourself, for your family, for your life, for your job. And that's what happens on a daily basis if you're open to it. If you're closed off to it, you're like, oh, I can't believe it. No. Understand that things happen for a reason, for a purpose. And when you constantly fall into that, area of what is it teaching me? What is it showing me? What's the new purpose of this new Newsday now? Well, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be streamlining. It's got more digital aspects, right? It's got more, different levels of media into it too. So it's opening up different channels for us to really venture into as a community, as an island, because we constantly need to keep up with that new IT and everything else that goes on.
And I feel like you really walk that talk, because look at you. I mean, honestly, I don't know what your career aspirations were, earlier on, or where you thought 5 or even 10 years ago you were going to be. But at this point in your career, I see you everywhere. You are, I think, one of the busiest people. And it's so funny because people are now inviting me to events that you're hosting, like the Bank of America event across the street tomorrow.
Yes.
I got a thing from Bank. They're like, would you like to come to our luncheon? We have a keynote, Catherine Canadeo. I'm like, Catherine. I was like, let me just text her. I'm like name dropping. She's my really good friend.
Oh, sweet. Yes.
I'm like, of course I'll be there. But you're everywhere, and your career is just like exploding. I mean, it was always great, but right now I feel like it's like peak.
It has. And what's happening here, too, is that, like we just talked about, right? So opening yourself up to those wonderful opportunities and really understanding that this is where your path is being guided, right? Listening to that internal voice, following that inner GPS. I spoke about it last week at the Girl Scouts when I was one of the panelists.
See what I'm saying? She's everywhere. She's everywhere,
but it was great. It was like 275 women, and hats off to Tammy, Sannino and her entire crew. It was amazing.
She was honored last night,
she was honored last night as well. Hats off to her. She's a wonderful person.
Amazing.
Again, here we are, and empowering all these women, and I get to be part of that journey, and I'm so honored, that everyone makes this beautiful space.
And you know what? I think it's just karma, because you're such a positive,
thanks,
really supportive person, and you're always lifting everybody else up around you, and then people want to embrace that. They want to say, yes, I want more of that. Funny, speaking of, we're big Swifties in my family.
Yes.
Taylor Swift, we're going to the concert. And her song called Karma, she's got this great line, karma is my boyfriend. Karma is my hair, a breeze in my hair on the weekend, and I love that. So we're trying to figure out what our outfits are going to be for Taylor Swift when they come. Actually, Tegan's trying to figure out what everybody's outfit's going to be. She's like dressing everyone, and she's like, I think you should wear let's see, what she's, karma is, so she's like, you should wear a t-shirt that says karma is my husband, and then Thomas should wear a t-shirt that says I am karma.
I love it. I love it.
I was like, girl, she's giving that some thought. It's so cute. No, but I think just good things happen to good people, eventually.
Yes.
And I really believe that positivity, people are embracing that. And we actually have so many people on Long Island doing great things like that and sharing that positive energy. And one of them is this company that reached out to us. And it's funny because today is actually like National Mom and Pop Business Day.
Love it.
And these are women-owned businesses, small businesses that are mom and pop. And this really, really cute business, it's in Babylon Village. And it's called Spirt+Soul Studio.
That's right up our alley.
I was like, girl,
totally.
This is the perfect show for you, because
it's so true.
The owner is founded by Tiffany, and she is a soul coach, which is actually a thing, right? That's a real thing.
100%.
Yeah.
What a soul coach actually does is she checks into your vibrational frequency. So as we're sitting here, like everyone here in the audience right now, we're leveling right now at like a delta wave, right? So delta is like 1 to 4 hertz per second. When we're in chronic acute stress, we're vibrating up here in gamma at 100 hertz per second. That's stress.
Yeah.
That's chronic acute. That creates inflammation. So when a person is really becoming symbiotic and identifying with your energy, I spoke about this last week too. It's about energy. When you really tap into your frequency and you really get somebody, it's like, out in the safari, right? The Giselle doesn't run up to, the lion. She knows that she's going to be eaten or chased, right? So people read each other's energy and people understand that. So you either want to embrace that person, come closer to that person, read their soul. If you don't want to, you stay away. Everyone's got their,
that
different
is factual.
levels.
You can sense.
You
I
can
can do
sense
that.
it
You can
into
tell
a
when
room.
someone comes up and they're just like. In fact, the other day I was not vibing for whatever reason, and I went up at this event, and my friend Regina texted me afterwards. She's like, "What's up with you? Your energy was off. What's going on?" And then she did the greatest thing as a friend would do. She said, "You know what? Download on me. Tell me what's going on so that you get it off your chest, so that you don't continue to embark upon people with that energy." She's like, "Let me know what's going on. Get it off your chest."
Because then you get stuck.
Yeah, she's like, so that you can just not continue to spread that negative energy. And I was like, well, let me tell you. So I love this store because, again, Spirt+Soul Studio in Babylon Village. And they sent us a little gift bag. So let's open it.
Okay, let's open
So
it.
first of all, they sent us this tea. And this one, you have one and I have one. And they're two different ones. This one, there's one called Manifesting Magic, which
Love it.
I need to manifest.
And I got gratitude, and you've got magic.
Oh yes,
Love
gratitude too. And they sent us this. It's loose tea, and you put it in this little metal thing, which is great because you can take it anywhere.
This is so.
You don't need like a
sweet.
tea kettle. Like you can just, you probably shouldn't microwave the water, but
No.
I know. Let me taste it. Go ahead, taste yours and tell me what it's like. What is it?
Ooh, I taste like hibiscus. I taste the flowers here. I taste the spice. This is really soothing.
Yours is soothing. It's
Yeah,
gratitude, right?
Very serene.
I'm grateful for so many things. I'm grateful
Yes.
for so many things, and that's it's good. I think that the cool thing about tea is that you drink it and you think about it because it's slower.
It is. And even with tea, too. So it's basically scientifically proven that if you speak your gratitude every day, even when you wake up first thing in the morning, right before you enter that, waking state, almost like in a dream state, and you just say specifically what you are grateful for. 3 things, specific, not just say I'm grateful, like for my husband, my family, my job, my health, whatever it may be. And you keep repeating those same mantras all day long. It's moments of prayer. It's gratitude. It's just saying thank you all day. It comes back to you, and it literally alters your brainwave chemistry within 21 days. Then you're coming from a place of constant abundance the minute you wake up.
Yeah.
You're not depleted, and all day long, things just come to you. And it's not what we're looking for that we want. It's what we believe that happens to us all day long, and that's what gratitude really is.
Yeah.
It's just paying it forward to yourself, because loving you first and taking care of yourself creates gratitude for everything around you. Then you're not coming from a negative space.
And what you believe to be true is kind of like manifesting, right?
Totally.
Which is what I'm drinking, manifesting magic.
and
Here, smell
magic.
this one. It feels like more fruit, more like floral, right? But
Yeah,
really
and
like
like a
light and
cinnamon
good.
spice.
It's really good. I love it. I could
very
totally
nice.
So thanks
I
to
smell the
Spirit
orange
and Soul.
in here.
Oh, they sent us a whole little gift bag. Let's see what else is in here. Because I don't know what else is in here. Let's go through it. What is this? Oh, is this chocolate?
and
Oh,
it's
they've read. Oh, look, they know you. They probably
Dark
listen to you talk about
chocolate,
the benefits of
The
chocolate.
best antioxidants, the best resveratrol.
I
best
love
rock,
that.
The best.
And then these cool little things. You know what these are? They're. You know what bath bombs are, right? So these are shower bombs. You drop them in the shower. Because who's got a bath bomb? I love a good bubble bath, but man, that's an effort. That
It's
takes
20
a chunk
minutes,
of
it's
time.
half hour. But you need
Okay,
that.
you've got to dedicate the time. This you're like, I got to take a shower.
Yes.
It's gonna happen. So you drop it in the shower, and it's like bang, bang, boom. You get all the senses.
You do, and it works just as well.
And you don't have to be like, okay, can I get out now?
It's true.
Is it too early to get? This is my thing. Like when you get in the bubble bath and you have the bath bomb and you've gone to all this effort.
So you're going to soak for at least 20 minutes
I'm
regardless. You have to.
I get in there and immediately I'm like, is it too early to get out? That was a lot of effort. I don't want to get pruny. I'm already hot. I'm getting out.
with us, though. It's 20 minutes of
I know. You
total
it's
self-care.
a good thing.
Yep.
It's a good thing. You needed to, and so what is this? Ooh, crystal.
Okay.
I think, and she's got some descriptions here. Ooh, there's a bunch of crystals in here. Elisa DiStefano brought me some crystals last time she was here. They're still on my desk. I think they're working. I'm going to add these to them, or I'll give them to you.
Wow.
We'll share the crystals.
So yeah.
So what do these
is
say?
Beautiful. Okay, so this one here clears out negative energy and it reduces fear, right? So it manifesting stone. So this is absolutely
that's really
and you
good for
feel it,
anxiety too, like before you're speaking or before you have to take a test or something's coming up.
And this color here, this rose color, and it's look at this. See that? Creating magic already.
Yes. Oh, you're so sweet with the color of my shirt.
But
yes.
it's true because intuitively we
manifesting.
know where our soul and our energy and our message is going to go throughout the day. So look at this now. How did that just happen? And even the bar of chocolate.
Oh, that's true.
Right? So
oh
this
my God.
and I like the color of the white Merlot.
The wine.
Done. Kristen, you're magic.
Who would have manifesting it? Yes, we're manifesting. Lisa brings it home. We're manifesting the magic and the good. That's awesome. I love it. And speaking of magic and happiness, because we're all about positive energy. Whenever Catherine Canadeo comes on, everything's positive and fabulous. And so we also got a book by this author, Kathleen Chabus, and it's called Creating Happiness. 15 simple ways. That's what I love. Simple ways to just feel really good about yourself, your relationship, and your life. So in the book, she talks about how to improve every aspect of your life and things that feel good. We're going to post the book. We'll put it on our Amazon page too, so you can buy it directly. And it's what is it? Amazon.com/shop/Discover Long Island. Alyssa's so proud of me right now. She's like
great.
She's literally like a proud mom.
Should be.
It only took me 2
That's
years.
amazing.
To get, Michael's proud too. Michael's like, I'm getting high fives for like just knowing our website. That's
love it.
Set the bar low. But no, she also gives like really great mindset hacks to shift perspective, like you just talked about, because we were just saying like little things like you can't think positively and negatively at the same time. It's physically impossible.
It is. So a negative and a positive can't coexist. One of them has to cancel each other out. So it's your choice. We always have freedom of choice, freedom of will. And it's really where our energy and our thoughts go that then our words become our actions and then our actions become our reality, right? So you have total control over what you look at the situation to be. You can always flip it. There's this beautiful switch in our brain and we have the ability to constantly be in control of that. It's when we feel that we don't have control that we act reactionary instead of responsive. So when you really take a step back, take a deep breath, look at the whole picture and say, so where's the good in this? What did I just learn from this? How can I create a better situation out of this? What can I, do to make this whole, presentation or whatever is better? Then you become more like of a growth aspect of it. And that's what she's teaching.
I think she's telling you that. And Nicole, she shares her own story, which is great because she's got an inspirational story. And then she backs it up with scientific facts and proven strategies, which is critical. You can't just go out there and like spew nonsense. That's what I love about you too. You're talking about like the specific facts and data and science behind things. You have to know what you're talking about.
Know. And the brain is just such a beautiful place because our mindset is everything. And it really dictates the kind of life that you're going to be having, that you want to have. And our mindset is everything. And once you learn how to really control your emotions, your mindset, how you prepare yourself for the day, how you start your day and how you end your day is what happens during the day. So it's really, really important to have that, it's a skill set. Yeah. It's like a muscle. You just have to keep using it as a muscle because it is a 3-pound beautiful muscle. So
and
we
Catherine,
have to
you're Italian, right?
Greek.
You're Greek, right? Okay. I was going to see if you could catch the faux pas that we did at the last
that would be
on the last episode because we said it maybe like 1,000 times, 1,000 different times.
What did you say?
We were talking about my favorite restaurant that's at Americana Manhasset. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, Cipriani's?
Oh, so I called it Cipollini.
Cipollini.
It's Cipollini.
Cipollini. Okay, we both
obviously
got it.
like chow, like
chow,
Cipollini. Like Cipollini. You pronounce this CH. I was like, someone said afterwards, like, by the way, it's Cipollini. I'm like, oh,
that makes sense.
I've been calling it Cipollini for 7 years. That's cool, and I said it like 1,000 times. So thank you for the correction. Another great mom and pop company is the Biscotti Company that is in Riverhead. This guy is.
That is so
Where
good.
is he from? Is he from Canada? He's a transplant, and he makes his own biscotti.
We've had them at the wineries. They're amazing, so delicious.
Yeah.
They literally melt in your mouth. I mean, there's the
made with
texture,
love.
everything.
They're made
so
with love.
good.
That's what's cool about mom and pop
Absolutely.
businesses.
Yep.
And this other one that I love, I don't know, I was going to ask you if you've had an experience with this business. It's Long Island Lux Picnic.
No.
So if you go to their Instagram, it's everything. So it's spelled out Long Island and then Lux, Lux, Picnic. So what they do, well, their core thing is that they can do these fantastic, like bougie picnics anywhere on the beach.
Oh, I love it.
For parties or proposals or romantic dinners, anniversaries, and they set it up and you sit on the pillows and it's all beautiful. But they also do their website, like I said, their Instagram is gorgeous. They do like party planning and decor and design. So for any kind of party or first birthday or bridal shower, I love their stuff. You look at them and they're using like local linens and flowers, and it's just, you know what, beauty, aesthetics, it makes a difference.
It makes a huge difference because we, especially as women, love to see the beauty in everything. And then we need to be surrounded by it. And that's just a form of like self-care, of self-love, because when you see that, it just brings back everything that you want to, like, you know, capture in life and the beauty of it. It just inspires you. It just makes you feel so good. And
what an amazing thing as we're coming into spring and summer to be able to have like a luxe picnic on the beach on Long Island, and it's like a romantic dinner at sunset.
it's perfect.
The candles. I've been
love
to the
the
beach
whole
and I've seen them,
concept.
and I'm like, I see people setting them up, and I'm like, what's going on over there?
Yeah.
I love
It's such a great concept because
I
it makes
do too.
everything feel so organic because
so
we have
pretty.
everything here
Yeah.
on the island. We have every aspect of that.
I love it. I love it. So, what else did I have for Long Island Life? Again, I talked about Adventureland. It's opening up for the season. Adventure Park too. Adventure Park, in case you don't know the difference, Adventureland's like an amusement park. Adventure Park is a zip lining, right? You go zip lining through the trees, and they're having an Easter egg scavenger hunt through the trees.
So cute.
How cute is that?
That's going to be great.
I mean, that's cool, especially I think for like older kids and kids that are like, I don't want to run around.
Easter egg hunt.
Yeah, but when you're like zipping through the trees, I
That's
thought that
cool.
was so clever.
Very cool.
Also, one of my favorite places is coming to Long Island. I told Michael, Crumble Cookies opened a while back.
yeah, I saw
I have
that.
not been there yet. Have you been there yet, Michael? Yeah, it's in Levittown, and I keep trying to get out there, but Tegan wasn't thrilled with the ones this week. The one time I was out there, because it's near Bethpage where we were
Yes,
last night.
yes.
So I was going to go over there, and then Tegan was like, I don't like the flavors this week. Don't waste the trip on this one. Like, I want to make sure it's the perfect flavors. So Crumble Cookies came to Long Island, which is great. And the next big thing that is coming and about to open is Nothing Bundt Cakes.
I saw it. It looks so delicious.
Catherine, let me tell you, I love these. In Arizona, oh my God.
Tell me.
Everybody has them. They're the cutest because they're beautiful bundt cakes.
They're like artwork.
Red velvet, carrot cake, all the amazing flavors. But then the best thing is the little mini ones. They have these little individual ones. And they put like flowers on them. They're
how
so
sweet.
My girls were like sending me texts. They're like, "Oh my God, Nothing Bundt Cakes is coming here." I was like, so again, I mean, everybody's coming to Long Island. It's great. So we're getting these great brands.
This is wonderful because they know that we have the clientele here, you
Right.
know, right? And we do appreciate that level of, you know, artistry and the bake shops and sweets.
We love that kind of
love
stuff
that.
here.
It's
We eat
so
that
good.
stuff up.
Yes,
The
we do.
vineyards, you get your little bundt cake or your
You're the
cookies,
perfect
your bacon,
island for
or your
all of this.
biscotti.
Right.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about some CelebriTEA?
Yes, I do.
Do you have some CelebriTEA?
I
do. Okay, go first.
Okay, so here's my bragging rights, right?
Oh, okay.
So Valentine's, my dear, lovely husband, had a beautiful limousine planned with champagne and chocolates, and he had his other guests there with us who happened to be the sponsors of what we're creating over there at the Long Island Music Hall of Fame and Entertainment, and it was Catholic Health. And we're pulling in, and it's Madison Square Garden, and he says, you know, I think we might be able to see Billy Joel privately in his suite. And we're all like completely, you know,
That's like a
okay,
Long
this is
Island
like
epic.
Okay, this is like the best Valentine's Day ever.
100%.
Okay, 100%. And so there we are. They call us back into his private suite, and we thought that there were going to be other people there. It was just us. So we're hanging out with Billy Joel.
That's crazy.
Okay,
I saw it on
just
your Instagram.
Billy
I was like,
Joel,
girl.
for at least 20 minutes to a half hour, and he was the sweetest.
What do you say to him? I'd
Gracious.
be like, "Durr."
So ready? This is what I said.
I would
So
not
Ernie
do it.
hands me this beautiful bouquet of roses, and he says,
Aw.
"Kath, why don't you just like present?" You know, I said, "Absolutely." Now, mind you how life comes full circle. So when I was 15, my girlfriends and I, and I hope my mom's not listening, we all said that we're going to be sleeping over each other's houses. Well, we actually got on the train.
That is the scariest story I've ever heard in my life.
And went to Madison Square Garden.
You went to Madison Square Garden, New York City.
15 or 20 of us as a big group.
15 or 20.
And so we go in, and what was the first show that I saw? Billy Joel.
That was the first show.
First concert I've ever seen in my life was Billy Joel. So now I'm presenting the flowers, and it was just like a quick, cute little, break the ice type of, comment. I said, Billy Joel, I said, Happy Valentine's Day. I said, yeah, I just want you to know that you were my first. And he looks at me, and he looks at Ernie, and we both start laughing. I said, my first concert.
I'm sure his Rolodex was going
wait a minute. And it was just the cutest thing.
Where do I go with that?
And he was just all
That's
smiles.
hilarious.
He was hysterical. He goes, how old are you? I was like 15. He goes, uh-huh.
Oh, dear God. Oh, dear God. He must have been like,
no,
panicked.
he was sweet. He was
That's
sweet.
so
but it was just so
cute.
cute. And then from there, we just showed him the entire, protocol that they came up with a beautiful deck. So the Long Island Music Hall of Fame will be having an entire exhibit for Billy Joel the weekend of November.
And you heard it here first.
First.
Tea.
So
this
it
is
is
a real
huge.
spilling of the tea right now.
It is a huge event. There's never been anything
that's
like
huge.
this
And that's
anywhere
in
in the United
It's
States.
in Stony Brook Village.
Stony Brook Village is at the Long Island Music Hall of Fame and Entertainment. I am so beyond proud of Ernie Canadeo, my husband. This is his baby. He's been the chairman for over 8 years, and really just watching everything come to life and to fruition has been the most exhilarating, inspiring experience. And Billy's all in.
That's amazing.
He was like, wow, what can I do? I mean, it's all about him, and it's a story of his life. And how incredible is that? And that we're all going to be a part of this. It's just extraordinary on so many different levels.
I had Uncle Giuseppe's heart-shaped pasta on Valentine's Day.
Very nice, Kristen. How was it?
I'm like,
Well, I was hanging with Billy. And then the concert. Let me tell you about this 73-year-old man that never took a break for 2.5 hours.
He's amazing.
And his
Thomas
vocal
has
range.
taken me to see Billy Joel.
Oh, my
I will tell you
gosh.
that. I got tickets for Christmas one year as a big thing because I said, you're not a Long Islander until you've seen Billy Joel at Madison Square Garden, as far as I'm concerned. You don't get your Long Island.
His residency is sold out. Every single show is always sold out. And the stamina, honestly.
Amazing.
And his vocal range. I mean, he even hit the high notes in Innocent Man. I was like, what? I can't believe.
The whole place is up, dancing, the energy in there.
It's
speaking
off
of
the
energy,
charts, off the
it was
charts.
one of the best concerts I've ever seen.
Yes.
And every time it's like sold out within a second. Yeah.
And what really just
And you got to meet
gravitates. And we're like in the
Can
couple
you
of rows.
can you tell Billy that we're his friends?
Of course.
Tell him to tune in.
You'll be coming to VIP for the
come on
entire
the podcast.
weekend. Yes, absolutely.
Yes. I was like,
Absolutely.
I'm friends. Billy, I'm friends with Catherine Canadeo.
Yeah.
So
we're there. I mean, and what I loved about it too was that every song that he sings, and he's been doing these songs, nothing's changed in 3 decades. It's not a new song, right? Every single song he sings with such enthusiasm, and he has so much fun with it. It's like he's singing it for the first time. And he just brings this whole level, of just being a part of this entire Long Island, energy to a whole other different level.
I think
He's amazing.
I think it keeps him young and like in tune. A lot of people, they get out of practice or whatever, artists, but he is still on it all the time.
And he's very mindful of his vocals, resting, so he's an incredible artist. He's just really into how to maintain his health, his stamina. I mean, he's very much into, not over, using the vocals, only a certain amount of performances. So he's really in tune with his body, mind, and spirit. And that's why he's so successful. And at 73, God bless him.
Yeah, he's an icon. He is a true, Long Island hero.
He's a legend. He's
Perfect
a total
way to do it.
legend. Yep.
So, and
The
you got to meet
music
him.
man.
Cheers
Yep.
to you.
Yay.
And cheers to Ernie.
Yeah.
Husband
Ernie Canadeo. Yay.
Everybody's like, whoa, way to go, Ernie. You nailed that one. So that's really, and that's exciting for Long Island too. So thank you, Ernie, for bringing that. Real quick, I wanted to bring a couple of other CelebriTEA things that were kind of female focused since it's Women's Month. I read this article the other day that said, is it FIFA or FIFA, the women's soccer? Does anybody know? FIFA?
I think it's FIFA.
FIFA, the women's World Cup soccer, this year finally raised the prize money for women's World Cup soccer to $150 million, which is up 300% from 2019.
That's awesome.
And yet, still a third of what the men get paid. But, it is about revenues, right? You have to make the same amount of... So, as long as you can verify and justify that you're making the revenues from the ticket sales and that, I think that it's going in the right direction.
It is.
But I'm like,
it just needs more exposure.
Can you imagine what it was before? 300%, and it's still a third. I can't. So we're working on it.
It needs to build its fan base. It needs to have the following, and I think it's heading in the right direction.
Yeah.
And before you know it, it'll surpass.
Women's World Cup soccer is like
so amazing to watch, isn't it?
When they won, when U.S. team won, I took my girls. We rode the train and went to the ticker tape parade. I'd never seen one before in New York City. I was like bawling. It was like amazing.
The amount of work that these professional athletes,
the movies.
It is.
And it was so inspiring for all the girls. I was like, all the girls were lining the streets and cheering, and it was like, I'm going to cry again thinking about it. Dang, it was so great. So
wonderful.
Cheers to those women for getting paid what they deserve to get paid. One other woman I wanted to talk about, CelebriTEA. You want to talk about Giselle? Did you hear about her article in Vanity Fair?
I did briefly.
Yeah, so Giselle, as you know, there's been all these rumors as to Tom Brady, and she divorced him because he went back to football, which I personally thought. And she says it's ridiculous. I really wanted to give her kudos because I thought it was such a classy interview that said, you know, they just grew apart. They grew into they wanted different things, and that she's his biggest fan still, and that their family is so wonderful. And she just really said, I'm focusing on my kids. And then there was all these rumors about she's dating his friend. She's like, I would never date his friend. I would never do that. We're still close. We work well together as a family. I was like, girl, that's the way you do it.
Because she's maintaining the integrity of her family and also herself. And so when you do that, you can't go wrong. You know, when you start to, you know, have negative, you know, emotions about an ex or all of these, it really just hurts the children. And what they had between them for 13 years was a beautiful, you know, wonderful experience. It was a marriage. And I think that she was coming from a place of, you know, compassion and empathy towards Tom, because it's also really hard being Tom Brady and winning all these Super Bowls, and then him wanting to feel that he can continue, because no one wants to feel like they're, you know, getting old and they can't do what they're doing or whatever he had on his plate there. And she was coming from a place of protection. She wasn't telling him like an ultimatum, and she really needed to clarify that. And I'm glad that she did, because as a wife, you know, you don't want to see your husband 5 years from now, 10 years from now having concussions and all these injuries that you can't enjoy your young children that you have together.
She was trying
she wasn't coming
it was
from
about
a
her
place,
family.
Right. It wasn't coming from a place of being selfish or self-centered, how she was being portrayed.
Yeah.
So, and I love how she stood her ground.
I think she's,
you know?
I was
she's
really
very
proud
classy,
of her.
Very classy. Very classy.
I mean, listen, I love, you know, a good breakup song as much as anybody. I love it when they're like, they go back and forth and they're writing about each other. But this was also, I thought, just really, I heard about the article. I haven't read it yet. It's in Vanity Fair. And it just seems like, I was like, good for you,
it was
lady.
Very heart-centered.
Lady.
Yes, lady, exactly.
Yeah, I liked it.
And she kept it real, you know. There was like no fluff about it. She was very, as a matter of fact. And I love her attitude. It's very European, you know. And so she just has this flair of the way she speaks. She speaks in a beautiful truth, you know. She's like, this is how it is.
Yes.
And I don't have any ill feelings towards him. I encourage him just like he encourages me. I mean, they're two super icons in their field. So how do you talk about, you know,
the power couple? Yeah, exactly. So and she looks like so
amazing,
incredible.
Yes.
Okay, so and lastly, Dancing with the Stars. Do you watch Dancing with the Stars?
I don't.
So Tyra Banks is out as a host. She is going to focus on her entrepreneur stuff, and Julianne Hough is the new host. Did you hear that? I know, yeah. Julianne Hough is stepping in as the new. So it's like she was a former dancer, and you know, Derek Hough is now a judge, and so.
Ooh, little
it's the Hough,
conflict.
Yeah, it's the Hough twins. I don't know, but it's like, okay, I don't know. I always say I'm not going to watch it, and then I get sucked in. It's like The Bachelor. The Bachelor. Do you watch The Bachelor? I've been watching it. So last week was Fantasy Suites. It was the biggest train wreck of a show I've ever seen.
What happened?
So Fantasy Week is where they always go. You have the opportunity to go to a fantasy suite, and they turn the cameras off for the first time, and is there a time where you get to spend the night or whatever? And it's always like, you know, the tea.
Right.
So this guy, I cannot stand The Bachelor. He's the worst bachelor ever. He makes this big proclamation at the beginning of it. I'm not going to be intimate with any of the girls during the fantasy suite. I've made a decision. And like he goes, the first one who I love, she was from New York City. She's like worldly and classy and amazing and strong. And she's like disappointed. Like, okay, well, that how do you get engaged to somebody that you don't know, but okay, so it's fine. And they wake up, it's fine. The next day he does, same thing. I'm not going to do it. Then the next morning he's leaving and he has a meltdown and he goes to talk to the host and he's like, I broke my promise. I was intimate. And he's like,
drama.
I've got to tell everyone now. I'm like, why do you have to tell anyone? Shut up.
It's drama. They feed off drama, right?
And then he had to tell everyone. It was this big deal. And I felt so bad because I think he didn't do it, I guess, with the third girl. And then it came down to the two girls that are going to go to the finals. One that he did get intimate with and the third one that he didn't. The first one went home and she was good for her. I was like, dodged a bullet, girl.
Yes.
My New York City girl. She's like, bye.
She knows better.
But it was really sad because then he was looking, then he made this big deal about it. And the girl that was intimate with him, he told everyone. And so she's like, I feel like I'm wearing a scarlet letter.
Yeah.
Everyone's looking at her. It was horrible. I never liked him. And I was like, I really don't.
Yeah.
I just.
See, it's about that energy that we're just talking about, right? You just kind of know. Yeah.
So it's the finale, and I can't wait for it to be over because, move on.
Move on.
Whoever you are.
Exactly.
But the women are all awesome. I will say the women this season are all just all amazing. So
great.
I say I'm not going to watch Dancing with the Stars, and then I do. I think we're probably on time, right, Alyssa? Are we doing okay?
45, we're just at 45.
Okay. I hate when we make Alyssa go over. Oh, can I talk about one thing that is just I have anxiety about?
Okay.
Anxiety is just things it's not really anxiety. It's like the epitome of a microaggression. It's an annoyance. Okay. There's so much to have anxiety about in the world today, but you know what bothers me?
What?
Is that someone is suing Buffalo Wild Wings. Did you read this article? No. Someone is suing. So this is when Chris perks up. He's like, what?
Why?
Someone is suing Buffalo Wild Wings because he says that they're misleading by saying that the boneless wings are wings when they're really just chicken fingers. Oh. I'm like, yeah.
So this is what we've come down to.
I can't.
Okay.
So
people.
It's so annoying that these people exist in the world. But I loved Buffalo Wild Wings' response. They were like, yes, there's also no ham in our hamburgers. There's no dogs in our hot dogs. And what did they say? They said something else about wings. Anyway, but they're
Great response.
And then the article's like, the lawsuit makes no mention of the cauliflower wings, which are vegetarian. I'm like, my head explodes. I read the paper and I'm like, it's obviously for money, but
it is. But it's all good. Let it go.
It's fun.
It's fun.
It's also fun to be like, this, it's levity. So one more thing, levity. Did you hear that there's a new campaign in New York City? Speaking of things people are freaking out about that really don't matter at all.
Such as? We
love NYC. So,
yes.
A new branding, I Love New York is the iconic tourism brand. So I think it's the Partnership for New York City. It's a kind of a private organization with Broadway and all these businesses. Yes. They came out with the help of the governor and the mayor, and they launched We Heart NYC. New Yorkers lost their minds over this. I mean, there's a whole article in the New York Times, and it was all over Twitter. Twitter blew up. They're like, this is the worst logo I've ever seen. What is this heart? It's off center. Who designed this? People lost it. It's hilarious. You got to leave it to New Yorkers to be like, it says We Heart NYC, and New Yorkers are like, absolutely not. I'm going to take my entire day and rip this Alyssa doesn't like it.
It was awful.
Logo.
Alyssa, as a graphic designer, right, is professional in her field. She's like,
no.
Yeah,
no.
She says no. See, she's a New Yorker.
I'm mad too.
She's mad too. She's going to go on Twitter immediately after this podcast. So if you haven't seen it yet, whatever you think about it, I was like, come on, there's got to be bigger.
That's too funny.
It makes me laugh that people
funny.
get,
Yeah.
And there was a lot of funny quips about, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. This is an assault against humanity. I'm okay,
they're really
New Yorkers.
taking it to the next level, huh?
But the fact is, we do love New York, and we do love New York City. city, and most importantly, we love Long Island.
We do. And we have everything that we could ever ask for right here.
Yes.
In our own backyards, our neighbors, our schools, our beautiful venues that we have, music.
Yes.
I mean, everything is here. We are so lucky to live here.
I agree, and we're lucky to have you here.
Aw,
So, Catherine,
thank you
tell
for
people how
having
they
me.
can find you.
Sure. So I have an office in Westbury, and it's my wellness center. I work with nurse practitioners. I work with integrative functional medical doctors. I have an immunologist there as well, too. And we really, look at the whole person. So if anyone is coming in for any type of ailments, whether it's hormonal imbalances, digestive disorders, cardiovascular, diabetes, anxiety, depression, weight loss management is huge. It's really like a one-stop shop. We also have a psychologist there now. I mean, it's just wonderful to have everything there at your fingertips. We work with BioReference. We do all of our labs right there, too. I mean, it's really just there for the person to just come in and actually get to the root causes of what's ailing them physically, emotionally.
Right.
On
And then
that
if they
level.
want to hire you as a keynote or
As a
something, how do they get
keynote,
it? Like your Instagram?
My Instagram, I'm on LinkedIn. It's
What is your
Catherine-
Yeah.
It's at _ Catherine Canadeo.
CANADEO.
DEO.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we'll put it all in the notes, but in case you're listening, I want people to
Thank you.
understand how they can get in touch with you
Yes,
directly.
So it's LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook,
Do you have a website?
website, CatherineCanadeo.com.
And it's both C's, Catherine
Both
with a
Cs.
C and Canadeo.com.
With a C. Right.
Yeah, so perfect.
Thank you.
Check out CatherineCanadeo.com because she's just going to make you feel better no matter what.
Thank you, Kristen.
No matter what it is. And I'm lucky to call you my friend.
I'm
Thanks
lucky
for
to have
being
you,
here.
my friend, as well. And you just bring so much light and love to everything that you do. And I love how you've opened up this beautiful area through your eyes. Seeing Long Island in this way has really been a treasure, and we really cherish everything that you've done.
Thank you so much.
very
All right.
welcome.
Tune in next week. Appreciate it.
Thanks. Cheers.
The Long Island Tea Podcast is brought to you by Discover Long Island and sponsored by Long Island Wine Country. For exclusive access to contests and promotions, follow Long Island Tea Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And for questions, comments, and collaborative inquiries, email spillthetea@discoverlongisland.com.